So I would like to start asking you this topic of new forms of employment relations. How did you become interested in studying this?
Yeah, as you say, conflict management is the research topic of our team at the University of Seville, and we started to apply those main concepts to the field of labor relations when we got the project from the European Commission. The project was about empowering employee representatives to negotiate fair and innovative agreements. We realized that the traditional system of employment labor relations have been broken, that mainly in countries such as the States and UK, but also when in these countries there has been a weak legal framework, but also in countries in different degrees, but also in countries where there has been a stronger institutional support. And this breakdown is reflected in the decline of collective orientation, firstly, and the decentralization of collective negotiation, with more and more room to individualized agreements where very important issues are negotiated at the company level. While some years ago, the more important issues related with working conditions, wages, health issues were negotiated between employers and unions at national or sectoral level. Nowadays, all those issues and other more innovative issues as safety, gender equality, work-life balance, all these issues, the traditional and new, more innovative issues, are negotiated at the organizational level. So these changes in the world of work it was a challenge for employee representatives as well as for management, because it's a new context for their change, for this new relationship. So both parties need to attract motivated and competent employees that are able to play the role of employee representatives and that are able to negotiate efficiently. So we thought that as work and organizational psychologists is a good challenge to support this new relationship, this changing relationship, this changing table at organizational level between both parties, because we as psychologists are very well situated to support them in the process of attracting, designing first the job of employee representatives. What's the new job? Because it's a new job, so we are very well prepared for this. What's the new job? What's the process to attract, to select, to develop, to train them in core competences for negotiation? So this is as we started with this project.
Oh, very interesting. So you were talking about, I believe, NEIR project, and if I know correctly, it started in 2010. Considering all the research that you have been doing about it, what are the main findings that you'd like to emphasize?
One not surprising but good finding is that management needs competent representatives at the other side of the table. They need representatives who are able to negotiate good agreements, innovative agreements for the survival of the organization. So this is a good, positive finding. No? They are looking for competent employee representatives. Second, maybe that both parties, because our target were, we analyzed the perspective of employee representatives and management. We analyzed the perspective of both sides of the table, and both of them recognize that trust is a very important variable for this new relationship, where the social outcomes are as important as economic outcomes. Then, in this new relationship, the question is how to promote trust. And from the theoretical perspective, the answer is investment. Investment in the relationship, investment in the relationship between the parties is very important. For example, sharing transparent information, preserving their role publicly, in public positions, and sharing information and communication is important. From the more practical perspective, the answer is empowering the role of employee representatives. So this is the key finding here that is important in this new relationship, empowering the role, empowering with core competences, empowering with not only competences of hard negotiation competences, but they need to be involved in the decision making. And the only way to be involved, and this is the management perspective, the only way to be involved in the decision making process is when they are competent in the issues that are important at the negotiation table for both for the employees and for the organization. And maybe a third finding is that both parties recognize that competitive and cooperative behavior, conflict management behavior, both contribute to the influence of employee representatives in decision making at organizational levels. So the older dichotomy between competitive and cooperative behavior doesn't fit in the modern labor relations. They have to combine both strategies, and this is also an important finding for employee representatives and for management that need to realize about this, that this is beneficial for them.
And so you were emphasizing the main findings. Were there any findings that you were not expecting that surprised you? I'm not sure if about the factors that were more relevant, or for instance about differences in the countries. I don't know, because it was an European project. Would you like to emphasize some surprising?
Yes, there were important differences between countries, but this wasn't a surprise really, because for example, employee representatives from Spain, they use a very competitive pattern. They combine competitive cooperative behavior, but the forcing the competitive behavior is relatively higher than the integrative behavior. And this is the other way around in other European countries such as Denmark, the Netherlands, Germany. In those countries, they use both competitive and cooperative, but cooperative behavior is relatively higher than in the competitive pattern. So this is a difference between the different countries. I think that it's good that we are able, from the work and organizational psychology perspective, to analyze individual differences of employee representatives in conflict behavior in a collective dynamic. That this is the focus of our research, but this wasn't a surprise. What it was a surprise was that the paradox from the management view that they admit that conflict behavior by employee representatives is beneficial for them because increases their influence in organizational decision making, but at the same time they see conflict behavior as incompetent. So this is the paradox. So the management have to realize that if they are looking for competent representatives at the other side of the table, they have to focus the challenge of constructive controversy. Employees are not going to accept or to agree with all of the proposals, with the ideas of the management, but they are going to contribute And this is the challenge, yes. From the perspective of employee representatives, there are also some paradoxes, because we are telling that both conflict behavior, competitive and cooperative, are positive. They are good for increasing the influence at organizational decision making and for getting good agreements, both in traditional and innovative issues. But if they engage into a partnership very strong with the management, the employee representative risk losing legitimacy with their co-workers. So in this sense, the relation has to be at least a little controversial. This is also a paradox, but those are the findings. Yeah.
Very interesting. And well, considering all these interesting findings that you found, what would be your main recommendations for practitioners or for companies or for workers? What would you recommend in order to improve the participation?
For practitioner, thank you. For practitioner, there is a clear message. We need to use the same training courses that we are using in the business school, in some of the master MBAs, but they are oriented to management. So we need to offer these courses, these are negotiation skills, conflict management skills, and we need to offer those courses and to empower employee representatives. This is a challenge for the unions, for the Works Council, but we have to take care that it's not only a task of the union or the Works Councils. It's a joint challenge. It's important that management are involved and they participate, as senior management participate in the training of employee representatives. And we doing research and training and empowering the role of employee representatives. Their voice is and their indirect participation through employee representatives is a value in Europe. So I think that this is the message to practitioners and to management and to work and organizational psychologists also. Yes.
So thank you very much. I'm not sure if you'd like to add any more information or if you are happy with the short summary that we did here about your findings.
Oh, thank you first for the invitation, and this is a great opportunity to let you know to the participants of the conference about our research topic. It's not a topic that it has been very relevant, very important for psychologists, but it has been more a topic from the more collective dynamic. But now with these changes, the influence of employee representatives is important. And this is nowadays a topic where we can push a lot in the direction of empowering and, what is more important, improving the outcome for both parties and the society in general.
Okay. So thank you.